Hi everyone, it's Erin again. And for my logic model today, I decided to recreate one that I did when I was working. Before I started my PhD program, I served as the director of the McNair Scholars Program at Lamar University. And if you're unsure what that is, it's a federally funded grant program that tries to get underrepresented students into the professoriate, so into academia, into higher education. So I actually created a logic model for this program as part of our grant application back in 2017. So I had to recreate it because I no longer have those documents, but I had fun and I kind of think it helped me remember what a logic model is. So this is my logic model. It's pretty straightforward, I think. The main benefit in using logic models is that it links evaluation to theory and gives it a really good flow and conceptualizes or kind of solidifies your concepts and puts what you do onto paper. And I think that's really helpful and can really guide evaluation. Um, I think stakeholders and evaluators need to work together if, or even better, stakeholders need to create a logic model. Evaluators, come in and you don't necessarily what's done. So having this kind of guidance, like this is what happens, this is why it happens, this is what we hope to happen, that really helps create measurable goals and that guide evaluators in creating evaluation methods. So I think logic models help define what constitute a successful program by identifying, those goals that you can measure and those questions that truly matter. You don't want to be asking a question that's not relevant because it has nothing to do with your outcome. So I think the two are really heavily related. When it comes to methodologies, there's so many options and techniques that you can really utilize. But I guess the main approach is either qualitative or quantitative. And I think you can choose either way simply because, so in my example, which is attached to this post, my short-term outcomes are very measurable, definite, they're numbers. So that requires a quantitative approach. But as a whole, your long-term outcomes are really going to be kind of more qualitative. Do you reach your overarching goal? It's kind of I almost think of it as a social context in many cases, and I know in the example from the NSF document, that's kind of what they mention. Um, Again, I think it was really interesting if you can use experimental techniques and methods as a form of methodology for a logic model and evaluation. I don't really know. I'm kind of skeptical of that. I know for me in my work or my previous work, that would not have worked. But it's really interesting it's really interesting. Um, Finally, I think, well, not so finally, but I think logic models are not universal. I think they provide a good basis, but they're not always needed in evaluation. The thought behind them is, but the actual physical model is not. So, how would I, go about testing this? Well, I've had to do this many times. And for me, we always created surveys that we would send out to our previous students, kind of find out where they are. So, very quantitative. What are you doing? Where are you living? What's your job? Did you go to grad school? Did you finish grad school? Did you just get your master's? And so that's really the quantitative data that we collected. So, no so much observation or feelings questionnaires, just kind of the nitty gritty quantitative stuff. So I'm sorry I baffled on, but take a look at my logic model that's attached, and I hope you guys have a good fall break. Bye.